My name is Hasina Juma, and I'm thrilled to be here, and I use she, her pronouns, and I'm part of Calgary Pride. Leaders and elders of Treaty 7, President of the Métis Nation of Alberta, Region 3, Lawrence Gervais, Provincial Vice President of Métis Nation of Alberta, Dan Cardinal, Your Worship, Naheed Nenshi, and guests here today, welcome. Thank you for being here for this historic and monumental occasion. The raising of the Pride flag is a representation and acknowledgement of who we are, and the people that live on this land and play on Mohkinstsis. The coming together of nations on the opening day of Pride Week for 2021 is monumental. Guided by Spirit, we are here to honor. We're here in the honor of reconciliation to build long-lasting relationships on the foundation of mutual respect, honesty, and care for one another. We acknowledge that this has been a journey for everyone. We want to take the time to thank the elders and the knowledge keepers for deeply honoring and participating in this ceremony today. We are also blessed to have Warren and his father as the guides on our journey. We are also very grateful for the long-standing relationships and leaders within Calgary's queer communities, for those just finding their footings, and incredible friends who are here to celebrate and stand up for dignity, beauty, and shared communities. And on that note, it is my great joy and privilege to officially kick off Pride Week 2021, to formally honor and acknowledge that we are here on Mohkinstsis, on Treaty 7 territory, where the music and culture and oral practices of the Niitsitapi Confederacy, Siksika, Kainai, Piikani, as well as Yare Nakota and Tsuut'ina nations once flourished. The beautiful land that we get to live is also home to the Métis Nation of Alberta Region 3, within the historical Northwest Métis homeland. And all of these nations have rich and beautiful histories and cultures that we are lucky to get to learn from. To start things off, I'd like to invite Warren Winnipeg, who is a knowledge keeper and teacher from Siksika, to share a few words.
Oki Apawahted, Danse, Bonjour, Oki Nixukoex, Nistudaniku Nitsitape Sini. Greetings, elders, Mayor Nish, leaders, delegates, and special guests, ladies and gentlemen. I am very pleased to speak with you today on behalf of Calgary Pride's Two-Spirit Knowledge Keepers from Treaty 7. I hope that you feel as excited as I am to be part of this great moment. I'd like to draw to your attention a few minutes that we are not only celebrating the success and dedicated hard work of Calgary Pride, but it is their 31st anniversary as well. Today, we are officially making history right here, right now. It is the first for Treaty 7 Confederacy, where Two-Spirit Indigenous community leaders get to commence and assist in the opening ceremonies for Calgary Pride. It is truly an honor and privilege. Thank you, Calgary Pride. When I was asked from Calgary Pride to deliver this speech, I did not hesitate because I knew that this was an opportunity to be part of a significant event, but also an opportunity to share about the history of Two Spirits. According to our traditional ways of knowing from our elders and knowledge keepers, that this is a time of reawakening and reclaiming our rightful place in the sacred circle of life. I grew up with loving parents that accepted me and nurtured my spirit. Therefore, I was fortunate. They often told me that we were and regarded as very important people in our communities because we were able to walk in both worlds, female and male energy. I grew up being bullied, often thought that I was not worthy, but later learned that we have a role and a place within that sacred circle. Two-spirit people were seen as medicine people, visionaries, healers, hunters, gatherers, leaders. Our elders teach us that we need to move beyond our colonial constructs of the past and reclaim our rightful place. And we all have that purpose, which is today. Pride has been one of my most favorite events of the year because it has given us an opportunity to be our true, authentic selves, to celebrate our differences and to embrace our diversity. We have had many leaders that started this Pride movement, which started with transgendered and drag queens during the Stonewall. I am so grateful to them because they took great courage to stand outside the norm and stand up for our human rights and liberties. Under the rainbow, we are family. Therefore, we need to treat each other as such. We belong to a great source and created to be warriors. Many two-spirits lost their lives because of intergenerational trauma, the legacy of residential school era, and 60 scoops, and now the child welfare system. These intergenerational traumas have left our people stripped of who they are today, and we have to reclaim them back. And now we'll progress and move forward in the support with Calgary Pride, all those that dare to join us unconditionally. Since 2006, I have been actively involved in the Two-Spirit movement to provide education and awareness about Two-Spirit people and the importance of our role in today's world. Today, I have my brothers and sisters sitting here with me and grateful that we have been able, from Treaty 7, and for the first time in history, to come together, not only in a ceremonial way, but a time to celebrate with each other. And I want to thank Calgary Pride for honoring and acknowledging the importance and for allowing us to have a ceremony and to bring blessings of love and light to the events going forward till next Sunday. With much love, may you always walk in beauty.
Warren, thank you for sharing the importance of Two-Spirit people and for sharing the journey of coming home. Here with us today is Lawrence Gervais, who is the president of the Métis Nation of Alberta, Region 3. Lawrence is a successful leader for the past 17 years in community development, workshop facilitation, program evaluation, fundraising, public speaking, and government relations. Community and family always comes first for Lawrence. Lawrence, I invite you to share a few words.
I want to thank you all for being here today. It's a fantastic event to be a part of, to be asked to be here to speak on certainly the Métis Nation of Alberta's behalf. I want to point and acknowledge a few of our leaders here that were previously mentioned. So Provincial Vice President Dan Cardinal, who's a gay man, very, very open to the change that we have to do at the Métis Nation, and we're very open to it. And of course, Peter McPherson, who's the Vice President here at Calgary Local 87, and who's a staunch volunteer at many of our events. And he doesn't get many acknowledgements from me publicly, but certainly he's one of the good ones, and we'll keep him for a long time. I just want to, thank you. And of course, our Mayor Nenshi and Thanks for your words. And from my life experience and growing up as a classical ballet dancer, I did that for about 17 years, and I was always a straight man in sort of that world. And even from a young child all the way to where I was to become a mature adult, I always seen every year, witnessed every year, that there was a belonging that needed to happen. And it usually happened around us sometimes when we got to go home at Christmas time and some of those individuals in our school didn't go. And what was the reason why? And how do you explain that to a young person? But certainly in the ballet community, it's very open and very accepting of a gay man, and certainly and woman in our community, but yet they didn't really have a home to go to. And that's what the situation, it was like that for me in the 80s. And I really had to really rely on my family, my Métis community, to really address why that reason was. And if you're an Indigenous man and you're gay, sometimes that belonging is just not quite there as much as everybody else. And I just wanted to address that, and I want to thank you for inviting me here today to speak. And I look forward to a lot more discussion around this, and I think it's very symbolic that we finally raised this flag here in Calgary, and we look to many years that we're able to do this. And I want to thank Calgary Pride and all its members for allowing me to speak today. Thank you.
Thank you, Lawrence, for sharing the importance of belonging individually and in a community sense. Our next guest is not only a friend and an ally of the 2S LGBTQ+ community, but is also a family member. From the hearts of the 2S LGBTQ+ community, thank you for seeing us, thank you for hearing us, and thank you for supporting us. We will miss you as mayor. I now invite Mayor Naheed Nenshi to share a few words.
Well, thank you so much, Hasina. And I keep saying I'm going to miss me as mayor a little bit too. So this is indeed my last time raising the Pride flag as your mayor. But I do want to reflect a little bit with all of you today on a little bit of history. 31 years ago, a group of brave people came together, not for a parade, not for a festival, but for a political rally in Central Memorial Park. Many of those people wore masks because they were scared of what would happen with their employers or their families if they were seen to be there. 20 years after that, I got the chance to march in my first Pride Parade as a candidate for mayor. It was a cold, wet, cloudy day, and it was a bad route. And I'm pretty sure that there were more people in the parade than there were watching the parade. The following year, I got the chance to ride in my buddy's red convertible, which I'm pretty sure he has not taken out of the garage since, at the front of the parade, not only as the first mayor to march in the Pride Parade, but to serve as the Grand Marshal of the Pride Parade. And there were tens of thousands of people there, and it was a much better route. A lot of that, I think, happened to be because it was a sunny, beautiful day, but I say it's all because of me. Since then, I've had the opportunity to be in many Pride festivals. I've had the opportunity to give a lot of barn burner speeches at the rally at the end. I intend to do that one last time next week. So I'll spare you the big barn burner speech for now, but I will say that this is important. For this place to work, for this land to be a land of prosperity and opportunity going forward, it must be a land of prosperity and opportunity for everyone. And so I'm thrilled today, and I don't know if it was made as clear as it could have been of how historic this is, that we are in fact opening Pride and raising the flag this year in a good way, and in a way that honors the Indigenous past, present, and future of this community. It's a big deal. And I'm really pleased that we are able to do that the first time here, first time anywhere, I think, to be able to really bring these two disparate but similar groups together. And if we learned anything in the last year, we learned about the fact that our journey is not yet over. That as proud as we are and we should be of this place that we have built, this diverse, pluralistic, multicultural space, we've still got a lot of work to do. We still have a lot of work to do together. When we think about that journey, what it really means to go from a place that we are rightly proud of and we should be proud of for our pluralism and for our diversity, to a place of true reconciliation. Or as Elder Casey Eagle Speaker puts it, reconciliation. How do we go from a place of pluralism to a place that is truly anti-racist? How do we go from a place that is accepting of LGBTQ plus 2S people to a place that is respectful and integrating of everyone, of every gender and sexually diverse background? I don't know the answer to that. I don't know what that destination looks like. I'm not even sure what the journey looks like. But I know that with real commitment, we will continue to undertake that journey together. And that's the place where we find ourselves today. But I feel good about it. And ultimately, we always have to remember that Pride, as fabulous as it is, started and continues to be a political action. But you know what? It's also a lot of fun. And while the rest of us were pivoting through this pandemic, the great people of Calgary Pride were sashaying. And here is our chance to, get loud, our chance to get political. Did I say I was going to save the barn burner speech for the parade? It'll get more barn burny at that point. But it is also a chance to celebrate the incredible accomplishments of LGBTQS people throughout the history of this place. And it's a great opportunity to have a little bit of fun and celebrate. Earlier this summer, I had the wonderful chance to inaugurate a new public space in Calgary, the Lois Sabo Commons. And a special thanks today to my old elementary school friend Kevin Allen with the Calgary Gay History Project for reminding us of the deep history of this place. But it was so great to be with Lois that day. And I said that day that I hope that this park continues as a place where people will plot and think, and new generations of activists will come together to think about how to bring justice back into our communities, inspired by Lois and her great story. But today I'll say it was also deeply meaningful because that is now a permanent testament to the gender and sexually diverse, to the LGBTQ2S plus community, fact, and history here in Calgary, and it will be there forever. And that's something I think that we can all be proud of. So with that, let's get this flag up, shall we? And let's celebrate. Happy Pride, everybody.
The next piece is a very special piece. In Indigenous tribes, dreams are the most sacred. Dreams are forms of the powerful connection from the spiritual realm to our dimension. This is the way that this Two-Spirit song came to be. And I would like to invite Dividing Thunder to share more about the significance of this song before it is sung and the progress flag is raised.
Okay, hello and good morning, everyone. In our recent past, all our tribes throughout this land came together at the annual Sundance ceremony. And today now, the Two-Spirit communities have been coming together for at least approximately 20 years now. I go down to Montana, to the Montana Two-Spirit gathering. Steve Boreos is the one from the Blackfeet tribe that has had that with all the different tribes in Canada and US come down there for for 4 days. And while I was there in 2017, there was a man, he was Osage from the Oklahoma tribe, and he had a vision dream that he was walking in this dream, and he came over this hill, and there was a huge encampment down there of people there, and they were doing a round dance. And then so when he started walking down there, then the elders that were there were very happy to see him coming, and they said, "Come, join us here. We saved this this space here, this part of the circle for them." So this song is for the Two-Spirit, and so it's a powerful dream, and it's a blessing to all the 2S LGBTQ plus community and our families. So I'd like to share that song with you today. The ancient people, the ancestors, Itume Tepiwa, Awani, they say, we've been waiting for you. It's bad to be join back into the circle of life. Awaki, we love you.
To all the communities represented by the Progress flag, whether you identify as organizations or grassroots, whether you're learning or teaching, or perhaps all of the above, you are what makes Calgary dynamic, vibrant, and a place to live, and we hope you see yourself reflected in the events of Pride 2021. May the seeds be planted here today be nurtured and tended like a beautiful garden, and may we continue to build bridges together through understanding, inclusion, peace, and prosperity. And with that, happy Pride!